Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, here I'm the first speaker. I'm Rofiqotul Wardiyah. I would like to explain the material about concept of phrase. A phrase is a group of words that stand together as a single unit and typically as a part of a clause or a sentence. A phrase doesn't contain a subject and verb and consequently cannot convey a complete thought. A phrase contrasts with a clause. A clause does contain a subject and verb, and it conveys a complete idea. And the type of phrase are: the first one is noun phrase, verb phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase, and the last is prepositional phrase. And the difference between phrase and clause: a phrase is a group of related words, and it does not contain a subject and verb. Example, a sad story. While a clause is a group of related words. It contains a subject and verb. Example, she was reading a sad story. And then the next is the material about noun phrase. A noun phrase is a phrase that plays the role of a noun. A noun phrase consists of a noun that are a person, place, or thing, and any modifier. And the modifier can come before or after the noun. Noun phrases are used to describe noun with clearer description. So when we use noun phrase, we not only show a noun but also provide a clearer or more specific explanation of the noun. And the function of noun phrase are a noun phrase as a subject, noun phrase as an object, a noun phrase as object of preposition, and a noun phrase as an direct object. And there are two types of noun phrase. The first one is basic noun phrase, and the next is complex noun phrase. First one is basic noun phrase. Basic noun phrase is a noun phrase that consisting of determinant. There are predeterminer, central determiner, and or post determiner, and head that are noun, number, or adjective. Example of basic noun phrase are all the trees, 4 times his salary, and the last is little money. And the next is complex noun phrase. A noun phrase composed by several components that making this phrase more complicated than a basic noun phrase. Component of complex noun phrase, namely pre-modifier, head, and post-modifier. Example of noun phrase is a very small school in this country was built in the 1980. And the next example is something new to learn.
Okay, I'm Destiana, Rinta, and I will continue the materials. The next materials is about adjective pairs. Adjective pairs are a collection of words consisting of an adjective, SIH, and a modifier, determiner, and or qualifier or intensifier. Just like simple adjective. Adjective pairs serve to describe nouns. The position may lie before or after the noun or as attributive to form a noun pairs, or after connecting the verb as predicative. For example, in position, there is attributive. It is before noun. And in adjective, for example, I like dark chocolate. In adjective pairs is I like very dark chocolate. There is very dark is adjective pairs, while very dark chocolate is noun pairs. To differentiate, we need to focus on the head. The head of the adjective pairs is dark, while the noun pairs is chocolate. Adjective may be combined with modifiers, determiners, and or intensifiers to form adjective pairs. Okay, the first is modifier. Modifier is a word, pairs, or clause that function as an adjective or adverb. Modifiers may be before adjective or pre-modifier or after adjective or post-modifier. In the case of adjective pairs, generally the pre-modifier used is simple adjective or simple adverb consisting of only one word, while post-modifier can be either infinitive or prepositional pairs. For example, in adjective pairs is young marriage. In modifier is young. Young is adjective. And the next is determiners. Determiners commonly used to describe adjective are articles, both definitive, the, and indefinite article a and an. Quantifier, there are many, few, little, and some. And the next is distributive. There are all, every, but, etc. And the next is demonstrative. Demonstrative adjective. There are this, that, this, those. And our possessive adjective is my, your, his, her, and etc. For example, in noun pairs is many young men. In adjective pairs is many young, and the determiner is many. Many is quantifier. Okay, in another example, in noun pairs is the beautiful house. In adjective pairs is the beautiful, and determiner is the. There is definite article. And the next is pure countries. Pure countries. In adjective pairs is all pure. I think all pure countries in adjective pairs is all pure, and in the determiner is all. All is distributive. And the next is this delicious cake. In adjective pairs is this delicious, and determiner is this. This, there is demonstrative adjective. And the next is our sweet moments. In adjective pairs is our sweets, and determiner is our. Our, there is possessive adjective. Okay, the next is intensifier. Intensifier is an adverb that can function to emphasize, amplify, or adjective downtown. For example, in adjective pairs is partially complete. The intensifier is partially. The next is pretty small. There is adjective pairs, and the intensifier is pretty. And the last is really nice. Intensifier is really. Okay, the next materials is prepositional pairs. Prepositional pairs as adjective pairs. If the adjective pairs is translated in a broader sense, all the phrases that describe the noun, the prepositional pairs placed after the noun can be one of them. For example, of prepositional pairs as adjective pairs is he is student from Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Explain the noun student. In this word, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, there is example of prepositional pairs as adjective pairs. The example of adjective pairs, the first is the water in the country is very cold. Very cold. And number two is I still remember our sweet moment. Our sweet. And adjective pairs is our sweets. The next materials is about adverb pairs. An adverb pairs is simply a group of two or more words that function as an adverb in a sentence. Just as an adverb can modify a verb, adjective, or another adverb. An adverb pairs of more than one word can further describe a verb, adverb, or adjective. An adverb pairs tell how, when, where, why, or what action, like how long, how many, how much, or how far. For example, we completed the science project before the deadline. The adverb pairs modifies the verb completed till in when. Another example is single adverb, yesterday, quickly, slowly. And the next is adverbial pairs, very quickly. And the next is type of adverb pairs. There is adverb of time, adverb of manner, adverb of place, and adverb of frequency. For example, is adverb of time. The first adverb of time is they couldn't do anything during the storm. And the next is adverb of manner. The customer always pays the bill with this debit card. The next is adverb of place. I'm on a flight to Bandung. And the last is adverb of frequency. All people may need to see a doctor very rare. Okay, thank you. The next material will be delivered by Widya.
Okay, I will continue. The next material is about verb phrase and prepositional phrase. Verb phrase is a series of words that act as verbs and don't stand alone. We begin with the functional formula for VP and then examine the forms that can satisfy those functions. VP functional formula: auxiliary plus help plus object plus complement and plus modifier. This formula states that VP must contain a head word, optionally preceded by one or more auxiliaries and optionally followed by object, complements, and or modifier. Example: I will go to Paris next week. Will go as verbal phrase, will as main verb, and go as auxiliary verb.